What is going on, guys? DBG here. Today, I'm going to be releasing a positive video right now because my next two videos for today are pretty negative. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to do a couple of gameplay videos. Probably going to do a Jabari Parker gameplay and a Darius Miles gameplay later on today. But my next two videos are incredibly negative. Or two videos that I've recorded before this are incredibly negative. So I will say just be warned. But I'm going to talk about something a little bit positive. I'm going to talk about the best event 2K have ever put out in my team. And Zero Gravity, I will say, a lot of people say Zero Gravity. And there's a big reason why I am not the highest on... I'm not as blinded by nostalgia about Zero Gravity as other people. I think Zero Gravity was great. But I think if we got Zero Gravity right now, people wouldn't be that happy. Because the reason why I don't think people will be happy is because the general consensus is so bad towards the mode that people don't even like the fact that we're getting a free Glen Rice for logging in. They didn't even like that. But Zero Gravity had its flaws. And I think that the way the game was last year, it was a fun game, and you could use other guys. So there was the potential, for example, you guys can see right here. Like, if you remember looking through these, everyone was like, oh man, we got Himothy, we got like Şengün, and like Lonzo was really good, and DeAndre Hunter was good, and then Vinny was good, Rocco was good, Rick Smits was good. Do you know, out of all of these cards, other than Jefferson, out of all of these cards they released this year, this is the only good one. He's God, by the way. If he's released in 2k23, he's God because he's 7'4" shooter. He is God. And he wasn't even that hype last year. I liked him. Most people didn't. This guy, bum. No reason to use this guy. No reason to use him. Like, last year, you were able to throw a card with 94 3 ball, 88 speed, 88 acceleration, 89 lateral, couldn't dunk, some goal defensive badges. You were able to put this guy in your team last year, by the way, and survive with him. I used to survive with this guy on the floor. If this was in 2K23, this guy would not survive on the floor. He's too little. He's too little. You can't have a 6'6" small forward that isn't a pure lock. Lonzo wouldn't be great. Patrick Williams, all of these guys, even DeAndre Hunter. You might be saying, oh, but he was this 6'8" lockdown defender. Do you want to know who else is 6'9" lockdown defender this year? Like, there is a 6'9" lockdown defender and nobody uses him. Corey Brewer. Like, Corey Brewer is better than DeAndre Hunter was last year. And there were no real need to use Sapphires last year. Other than that one challenge from a new ball. But I was able to use DeAndre Hunter and I had fun with DeAndre Hunter. The reason why I was able to use DeAndre Hunter and enjoyed using him was because, basically, he was just usable. The game was fun. Like, Corey Brewer's just better. He's just better. And no one gives a damn about Corey Brewer. So, like, Zero Gravity was decent. And it was the first thing. It was really fun. Going up in the overall, seeing what was coming out. I personally think that the Bracket Busters reward is the best. Bracket Busters is the best thing we've ever seen. So if you want to say, oh, but the Bracket Busters cards suck, that's on 2K for blowing their load early. That's on 2K for blowing their load early. It's not on anything else. It's not on the cards. The cards are insane. So if we want to look at Bracket Busters, Willie Cauley-Stein, really good. If Willie Cauley-Stein was in the game last year, with a decent 3-ball, 87 speed, all of these stats, he would be seen as a good card with a good release. And then after that, we've had some great players. Like, of all the players that I got from this, I'm confident. I ran Cherokee Parks playing co-op with Jazz, and this guy was God. Salim Stoudemire is still pretty fun. Like, Salim Stoudemire is almost Stevie from last year, because I don't really dunk with Stevie. They sucked. The Elton Brown repellent, they sucked. But like Sullinger, a beast. Cauley-Stein, really good. This guy last year, if we had gotten this guy in May of last year, a 6'9" shooting guard, range, good release, dribble 6, he'd be God. Villanueva would have been seen as insane. So would if we got Jared Jeffries last year in Zero Gravity, there'd be almost as much hype for him as a 96 overall as there was for Richard Jefferson. Like, the only reason people really hype up Zero Gravity is because of Jefferson. It's because of Jefferson. It was our first time ever getting daily content, and Jefferson was a god tier reward. If you don't remember, when Julius Randle came out, we had just gotten 3 bad cards in a row. People weren't happy. People were not that happy when Julius Randle came out, because the way the game played, Rick Smits was only okay. Rocco was pretty good. KJ Martin sucked. Brandon Clark sucked. Vinny Del Negro was alright. Barton kind of sucked. Bill Russell really sucked. So people were only really happy with this. And also, it was Season 6. This came out the 13th of May. That's pretty much 6 weeks away. And we're 6 weeks away from that. And we're getting Ed Pinckney, who's insane. We're getting Jared Jeffries, who's a 6'11 shooter who can play lockdown defense. The only problem is that we haven't gotten any good point guards, or we haven't gotten any good centers. And you know what the biggest, craziest thing about that is? The only reason we haven't gotten good point guards or good centers is because, again, 1, they blew their load too early, and 2, the gameplay sucks. The gameplay sucks. Like, if this was good, if the gameplay was good, Willie Cauley-Stein would be a beast. If this was last year, Cherokee Parks would be running center for guys, because you could run with 6'11 centers last year. A lot better than you could this year. Especially this time last year, not many people were running their giants. Like, Yao Ming came out during Season 6. Yao Ming came out around the same time as Rick Smits. So fair enough, once Yao came out, Yao came out. But before Yao came out, you could actually, like, run around the other Yao Ming with 60 speed. Cherokee Parks would have been used. Jared Jack, like, by the way, last year, and then these guys right here. If this card came out last year, we'd be hyping them to the moon. It's just we've gotten so many unbelievable cards because, again, 2K blew their load too early. It's just, it is, again, same with Mike Dunleavy. It's just a load of bad totality of my team decisions. But when you look at things in isolation, we are getting a really good usable card every day. And you cannot say that for any other event ever. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, play the game for 5 minutes, log off, don't play the game again. Like, oh, that's not the way things should be done. You should be doing other stuff. Well, that's a different question. This game sucks. This gameplay absolutely sucks. But I think that it's wrong to not hype up something when 2K do well. Because the fact that people are still calling this a crappy event, but yet still look towards Zero Gravity, means that we're more likely to see 2K giving us a Zero Gravity type set in the future instead of something like this. This is cool. You get to pick who you want. You get better overall cards. You get more better overall cards. This is better. This is better for everybody. But nostalgia goggles are going to make people think that this is a better idea. And feedback that's going to be given for 2K may not be even positive about what might be the most positive event of the year. Especially because they're getting 5 Opals next week. And even if we don't, Jared Jeffries better than every one of these cards other than Richard Jefferson. Pinckney's better than every one of those cards other than Richard Jefferson last year. So is Villanueva. So is Sullinger. So is Justin Jackson. So is Willie Cauley-Stein. And so is Cherokee Parks. And sure, they're probably not going to be able to give us a 6-7 point guard to make him usable in this game. But that's an issue with the gameplay. That's an issue with the gameplay. There are a lot of things content-wise that can't really be done because the gameplay sucks. Like, that can't be hyped. Because again, like, if this was last year with Austin Rivers Dribble 6, he would have been used. He would have been almost like Pistol Pete in 2K21. The gameplay just sucks. The gameplay sucks. The gameplay sucks. The gameplay sucks. But we have to give credit when credit's due when there's good content. This 3-week Bracket Buster event, I think these cards were implemented incredibly badly. I think this had the potential. If these were implemented in a way that they were seen as extras and they boosted the odds overall so that any of these cards you got were seen as an extra card in packs, then it would have been really cool. The problem is that they didn't boost overalls, they weren't extras, and it meant that if you got 1 pink diamond, the highly likelihood of it passed is that you got a Bracket Buster card after the first day. This was implemented almost as badly as it could have been, but it was a really good idea. This is a really good idea if people just want to log in and get a free card. And then you can get some catch-up cards. What I would like is if there's a bunch of challenges at the end of the season for guys to maybe only pick up if someone only buys the game today, to have like some challenges at the end of the year and the end of the season where they can get them all if they want to. But again, I think this is a really good idea. And this might be, as far as free cards go, the best implementation. I'm someone who in the past has said that giving an option of 2 cards and making someone choose between a card is a bad thing. I've actually been on the record in saying that that's a bad thing. And now that I've actually got experience of it, I don't mind it. I actually really don't mind it. I think that it might be, like, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I've said it in videos coming into the year that, like, people are like, with level 40 reward, they want to give 3, or it was like, give multiple level 40 rewards and make you choose. And I've said, oh, that's a terrible idea. And I actually think that now that might be a really good idea. I go back on my word because I think that as someone who criticizes the game as much as I can, as much as I do feel like, as far as being in the community goes, amongst people that do like to criticize this game and aren't in a position where I probably say as much for people who are seen as negative. I say the most positive things about this game, and I need to keep honest with that. At the end of the day, I don't SH1T on this game just to shit on the game. And shit on the game. Like, I do it because I see how close it is to being good. And I think that there are a lot of steps and there's a lot of directions with the mode that I hate. But I'm so burnt out on this mode, and there is no game that I've ever hated playing more than NBA 2k23 MyTEAM. I think it is one of... I don't mind playing 2k23 when I'm sitting down with my housemates just playing Lakers versus freaking Suns earlier. I don't mind the game. But when it's this game mode, it is like, it's torture. But at the end of the day, this event in isolation is incredibly good. Everything from the choices to the good cards to the gradual progression from Diamond to Pink Diamond, probably to Galaxy Opals. We have got a ridiculously good event right here. And I think that while obviously I'm not going to be there spamming W2K and all this and being #1 hype man, and a lot of people being like, oh, you're just doing this for Logo Man. I'm on so bad of a blacklist. As far as I'm aware, it's me, Ty, and JD. Maybe, I think possibly Richie. But we're on so much of a blacklist that internally we were in the list of names that all employees have to unfollow. There is a no-go back with that. You're never going to see Next Maker DBG again. As the first person who was ever kicked out of the Next Makers, I'll wear that badge of pride at this stage. But I do pride myself on saying what I feel in this game. And I like the fact, if you guys don't know, I did not record a rant video between, I think, the end of January last year, until whenever Season 8, halfway through Season 8. So it was July. I went on like a 6-month period without recording a rant video last year. And I've recorded 2 in the last hour. Because I hate this game so much. But I hate this game so much for a lot of reasons. And gameplay is the main one. I think it's been very misguided with content. And I think that the fact that they had to blow their load so early because of the trophy case is a big problem. But I will say, even though overall I think I will have an incredibly negative perception of this game mode, I think when it's all said and done, this will be the game, the year that has driven me to the edge and driven me to the stage of saying I can't keep making my team content for my own sanity. This event is the best event 2K have ever put on, bar none. And I think that no matter what you want to argue, and I remember JD being like, how is this better than Zero Gravity? And I remember I explained to JD what my opinion was, and I just got no reply. Because I can guarantee you if anyone tries to debate me that any other event was better, I will be able to bring up points and bring up so many reasons that the only way you could argue that there's been a better event than this will lead to somebody basically saying, I preferred that game over this game. And I agree. I think if this event was done in NBA 2K, if this event was Season 7 in NBA 2K22, we would be calling it the greatest thing ever in my team. And I think just because it's in a bad game, just because the totality of the game is bad, the gameplay is bad, we can't give credit to a really good part of a really shit game.